Never before in all our history have these forces been so united against one candidate as they stand today. They are unanimous in their hate for me, and I welcome their hatred.
The needs of working families and the middle class, not just the billionaire class. We know what's going on. We are paying attention.
There we go. Audio is helpful. Good morning, everybody. It is the Saturday show. And wow, 20 people already. Got a nice audience. I had some stuff in mind for today, and I wasn't sure who was going to be here because everybody's got stuff going on. But I do have the lovely Laura Live and Good and Markus Krantz with us today, although Markus has been dealing with his mom. How you doing, guys?
We're good. I'll always be here unless I tell you I'm not.
All right.
So,
well, I just now that you've got
like 3 in the last 2 years. So this is a priority.
You have a beau now, so I expect you to spend your weekends doing that stuff.
I do.
I know.
But he's out cleaning the garage again.
No, come on, really.
He is. Now he got to organize. Now he's got cleaned out. He's organizing.
How big is your garage? Is the next question.
Not very big, but it.
Wow. Okay.
He likes garages, so he's very happy.
Markus.
And he watched the whole Jill Stein show the other night.
Nice.
Nice.
So he got to listen to Yola a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Hi, good morning, everybody.
That's awesome.
We got real Jim,
Morning,
Melissa,
everybody.
and Nico, and
24.
hi, everybody. Oh,
Good morning.
24. Hi, everybody. Markus, how's your mom? Tell everybody what's going on. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, she is back in the hospital since Tuesday, and she fell down, and yeah, she got a rib broken, and yeah, it is not that good at the moment. We hope that she will recover soon, and she'll come back on Monday. I had to organize a pretty lot of stuff around this, that she is under control, that she cannot fall down anymore, and no accidents can happen. Yeah, a lot of organizing, but I'm optimistic that it will get better.
Yeah.
We're at that stage in our lives, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so Markus has had to deal with that, but amazingly, he was telling me the other day, he didn't like the doctor, so he went in and fired the doctor and then got a new doctor. And all of this happened without, like, you didn't have to pull out your wallet, right?
No, it's just, it was, to be precise, 4 phone calls.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because the doctor acted not in the interest of my mother, this is what I can expect from a doctor. And so I decided, no, this is not helpful, and this is now over. And I already found a new doctor, and the new doctor will come into the house, He will work together with a nursing team I hired newly. And I hope this will improve the situation for us all.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we wish your mom the best. And
thank you, guys.
I know you're trying to work on it. Chemo sucks hardcore, and yeah, it's just going through right now. So, just glad you're in Germany. Your mom's in Germany. Glad you're there. Wow.
Yeah.
So everybody, I want to just apologize for not saying everybody's names. I see you all in chat, but there's so many. It's so nice. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate that. And Iko, I see you saying, you need some Angry John therapy.
Yeah, it came to the right place.
I was pretty pissed off earlier today myself about what's going on, and let's get into that. The cover, though, while it's gross and kind of humorous to look at, is really indicative of what's going on. We have a cult that believes that the President of the United States can do no wrong. He lies continually. He's got a government, a GOP-run government that doesn't really give a shit what he does. We have massive voter suppression happening everywhere right now. We heard about it in Texas. 30% of one group's polling stations or whatever it was, they were changing the vote from Beto to Cruz. And the reason, so the cover is from a Chris Hedges article originally in Truth Dig, and the pictures done by a guy named Mr. Fish. And I saw somebody say recently that Chris Hedges is really smart and really great, and I agree. Chris Hedges has a lot to say, but he doesn't really offer any solutions. And I haven't seen any either. Like, this is in this long article where he just talks about the uber rich and how crappy they are and what they've done to us and how everything sucks, and he's right. At the end, it just says, we will repudiate these pathologies and organize to force the uber rich from power, or they will transform us into what they already consider us to be, the help.
Wow.
Okay.
I don't know, Chris Hedges always just strikes me as just deeply depressed and
why not?
Yeah, no, he does. He said it's like he's like that guy on the newsroom. It's like, no, we really can't do anything. It's just going to go this way, or we're all going to die. And it's almost like he's writing the history for people to read later on as we as we watch this happen. He's documenting it, but I don't think he's setting himself up as being the one who has a solution.
I don't. Yeah, maybe he does it. I actually think in the most non-violent way, Hedges is trying to say it's going to end up in violence.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Or maybe he's saying, look, if we can't do it, what I'm seeing with the voter suppression, if we can't do it with democracy, what's left?
Right.
Marcus from Germany, guys have maybe a little experience. What's left?
Revolution. Guillotines.
There is not much left. Yeah. Yeah, we saw this in France at that time. You're absolutely right, Laura.
Yeah.
And the more I'm looking at our cover photo, the more I'm distracted by the exaggeration of Trump's genitals. We all know that more mushroom formed as.
Yes.
And,
not being accurate here.
I think,
you really have to go back there. We move on to serious, and you really want to talk about his tiny weenie, but that's all right. I understand.
Yeah, as I said, it is distracting, and this is my thought on this.
That's a Renaissance weenie.
If you want so.
Is it Dina or Deanna? I'm sorry if I always mess up your name. Hedges is an unfunny George Carlin. Yes,
exactly. It's a
this is nice. This is cool.
That is absolutely right.
Yeah.
Apart from this, George,
with no punchline.
Yeah.
Yes, Oz. Are you going to be king too? Yeah. Anybody declare? We have a cult of MAGA.
Yeah.
All right, and we've seen the results of that with the what's going on right now. I mean, the news isn't good. That's why I was all pissed off. I'm really glad for you guys showing up here because I spend a lot of time. It's going to sound really weird. I spend a lot of time alone in my box.
Mm-hmm.
I have two. I don't like to go out in public. I used to really enjoy it. I don't anymore. I'm afraid of being out in public. I'm outspoken and I smoke pot. And with the way that's treated here, I'm afraid to go around in public for a lot of reasons. I'm afraid to see what I see in my community and react to it. And I know I wouldn't last very long in jail if I were to react, right? So I spend a lot of time in here just getting pissed. Like you do, and wondering what we do.
Saturday morning, we find you, we open the box, Marcus and I drag you out and start cheering you up. And by the end of this hour, you have, so this is John, Eco says this, John Anger Therapy. This is John's therapy session. So
this is our therapy session. Yeah.
We used to call it that. It was, right. That's what it was for.
Yeah.
So morning therapy.
Yeah, that's right.
Revolution, but
conversational therapy.
It's just, there was just a shooting this morning. There's 8 dead in Pittsburgh at a synagogue by a white male who said all Jews must die. This is a hate crime. I haven't seen a single MSM call it that. I haven't seen a single headline call this what it is. White Christian male shoots Jews in an obvious, blatant hate crime that was triggered by our president, who's had a spotlight shown on him by our media. MSM is 100% complicit in everything going on right now. Just like they blacked out Bernie and Jill Stein, they could black out Trump. They could cut the cord They could go to something else, or they could be fucking journalists and actually talk about what he's saying and repudiate it, but they don't. So I got no sympathy for mainstream media. You brought it on yourselves, you reap what you sow, and you either show some integrity or you're stuck with the rest of us. You got targets on your heads too.
Yeah.
We're all targets in this fascist regime. Okay.
I threw that other slide about Pittsburgh up right underneath the one you just did with that.
Oh, great. Yeah, I didn't even see her. It's a nice statistic from Shannon Watts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Donald Trump on
Donald
Pittsburgh
Trump.
shooting in a synagogue. To see this happening again and again and again is just a shame. He asked if there's anything that could be done. Look at all the violence all over the world. The world is violent. America made the world a violent world.
Yeah. America is a violent country, not
Look,
the chart is gun murderers per 100,000 residents, with America being the big red line on the left.
Yes.
All the way down to like 0.1 in, was that Japan?
Yeah, Japan, 0.1.
Okay. So everything else is in fractions of a percentage point, and here we are.
Yeah.
So it's
and there you can see that all the world does not understand what's going on with violence and with this weapon mania in the US. The rest of the world doesn't get it. You know?
It's
You can see this by the numbers. You can see this by the numbers.
We're off the charts. You know, the other things we're off the charts in are military spending.
Yeah.
You can find a great correlation in what we spend our money on. We spend our money on violence. We create violence at home. We create violence around the world. It's the most irritating and enraging thing to have the president. I don't expect anything out of him. He's just a fucking idiot. But the GOP and centrist members of our government talking about the Honduran refugees coming from Honduras that we have fucked up. We fucked that country. We made that country the shithole it is. And these people are leaving that country going, well, I don't know why. I don't know. I honestly don't know why they're coming to America. Maybe it's like, hey, you fucked up our country. We're going to come to yours. Whatever. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you're welcome. Come on in. I'd rather replace every Christian white ass fuck with a POC from some other country. I'd take that swap in a heartbeat. I just don't know what to do with the white Christian assholes. Nobody wants them. Right? But the fact that our own government is talking about these refugees that we created, what are we going to do with them? I don't know. You created them. Why don't you treat them like human beings? Why don't you bring them in? Why don't you give them jobs? You can't even do that for your own fucking citizens. How are we going to do that for some other people?
Well, they're coming here so they can work for us. That's what they want to do.
Well,
they just want work and protection.
No, don't go there. Don't go there. That's a slippery slope. There's a centrist message that's basically racist. And I've seen it being pushed. We got to be careful about that. No, these people aren't fucking coming here to work for us, to pick our vegetables, to shine our fucking shoes.
Yeah.
These are human beings, okay? We're not going to classify them already as, the working slave class. Let's not go there, centrist.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Not you, Laura. I'm just, it's just
no.
Got to be careful.
I hear what you're saying, but that's the message that is that it seems like they're going to come here to to kill our babies, and it was like really all I want to do is find work and raise their families. In peace and
right.
So that's their goal, and it just seems like he's got them running through the jungle with machetes in their teeth, going to attack us at the border, and that's that's horrific.
Right.
I put slide 7. I put a picture of what the caravan is looking like.
Yeah, we'll get to. You keep adding all these slides.
Yeah. I know.
Where am I now? You keep adding all these slides. You keep pushing my Sean slide down. Stop pushing my Sean slide down.
Well, this is just the second quote from Trump about the Pittsburgh shooting.
I see it. Hang on. I just want to. I was trying to get to this.
Yeah. This was the punchline for the slides.
Yeah. I was trying to. I don't want to spend too much time on this. Just trying to get to this. Sean Singh, I said this before, but it's particularly relevant today. The United States is an unstable, fragile nation and is much closer to a full-fledged meltdown than most of us want to admit. We're in a very bad place. Right?
Yeah.
That is absolutely 100% true. There's the shot of the caravan, right, going through. Here's his other quote. If they had protection, I don't even understand. They're talking about the Pittsburgh synagogue. He's saying they needed guns inside the church.
Yeah.
If
they had protection inside, the results would have been far better.
He wants to turn this nation into a.
What does that mean?
I don't even understand that. wants to turn this nation into a fucking... Well, everything we do in this nation is about violence. Primary sport, about violence. Well, okay, primary sport, except for when you talk about, like, baseball. Baseball is not violent. It's just boring. Primary sport that's not boring. Football, violent. Anyway, everything we do around here is about violence, and the media doesn't say or do anything on it. What else did you have in here? Got me all messed up now. All right. Thank you for adding those extra slides, Laura.
No problem.
Oh, thank you, flies. It's really a Ted Cruz day. I got a lot of flies in here right now, everybody. That was something I was going to hit on. I'm just going to do that real quick because I'm gonna. So, we need your money. I just got to hit it up. I was listening to KRVM, which is a station here, 91.9 in Eugene, and I donate. I just became a regular member, like $7 a month, because it's all I could swing right now. But they're in their membership drive. Oh my God, I've never heard like every other song. Everybody, we're going to talk about our membership drive for 3 to 5 minutes. And, you know, I think it was relentless, which is why I ended up being a member. It's like, okay, stop. If I be a member, will you stop? That's why.
If we meet our goal, we'll stop. That was always my favorite.
That's exactly what they say. It's exactly as soon as we meet our goals, we'll shut the fuck up and get back to music. And so I don't really have that option here because we don't do enough programming, because we don't have enough people, because we don't have enough money, because we don't have enough reach, because, in other words, times are getting tougher. It's not just about raising funds so that I can get paid my executive salary, or so that we can reimburse Larry for all the stuff he buys that I break. All right. It's about paying for the solo, which is going to cost us more than I thought. It's expensive to broadcast on that thing. Anyway, so we're paying for these modems, and that's an expense every month. And now we're going to do 2 events, and we're going to be using the modems. Everybody that's in this tight family that we have here, there's not a lot of us, right? And you all donate what you can, and I know you're tapped. So please do the next thing. Share this content. Share this content with somebody else that hasn't donated yet. Share this content with people that you see in social that are influential, that are big names, just for the fuck of it. Hit them over the head with it. You know, we need to reach out and find a bigger audience to have a bigger effect, even if it's just on the West Coast. And you may not think it's that essential, but we're going to lose the internet here in a while. Don't count on it being here. We're going to have to move in other directions. We're going to have to move towards maybe local radio stations, stuff like that. And we need to plan for those things. We need to invest in our independent media because we're losing the narrative war. So if you've donated already, I appreciate it. If you're tired of listening to me talk about it, share content, and then I'll shut up. But we need to raise a little more money because we've got some expensive things coming up in November, and we're going to have to pay some costs on some other volunteers and stuff. You know, if I want to get Ash up to do the camera crew. So share it. Thank you very much. And if you're a member, if you're with an organization, if you're a member of admin in a larger organization that happens to come by and watch this show, because I know there's a few people that do that, we can't do much without you. Right? We're a small group that has some incredible technology and could do some amazing things if we can work with other organizations. So reach out. We can do a lot for your candidates. We can do a lot for your organization if we can work together. But alone, this is what we got, right? So, thank you. And this is Charles Mon. Hey, 41 of you. Thanks for being here.
Hey, Chemo says, I got a job.
Hey, congratulations, Chemo.
Congrats, Chemo.
That's a hard thing to get these days. It really is. At least one that works for you. That's awesome. I'm glad. Good. Thank you. Oh, so he can donate. Even better.
Yeah.
I like it.
Oh,
Take care of yourself first, my friend, please. But thank you very much.
And there's Larry also in the chat.
Hey, Larry.
Larry.
Yes, Larry will be giving, and you know,
The
everybody.
best coverage. Yes.
Larry and Laura and Ash, like, they're donating money to their own. They own this company. They donate their own money to it. They're always volunteering their time, and you know, like I said, share this
I
stuff
pay to
out.
work here. That's love.
You do. You pay to work here. That's
you know what? Because I'm in a position to do so, and I can.
Yeah,
and it's not a lot. I give what I can, and I give my time for the rest, and there we go.
We all do what we can. To our German audience, which I know is at least 3. Seriously, you guys don't want to see a redo over here? You're in a better position economically. Donate. I know you can find a way. It's got to be a way. We'll find a laundering system. We'll make it happen. Thank you, Oz. Oz, $20. Appreciate that. All right. I want to get back to Charles Mom. Charles Mom is running for Corvallis City Council Ward 2. He is a longtime burner, a supporter of this network. He's the one who got me involved in the ground game, got me restarted here in Albany when I moved, and he needs your support. You know, go look up Charles Mom on Twitter. Go find his Elect Mom webpage. Share that. Donate a few bucks. He's doing a great job, and he's out there spreading the message. And we really need to make sure he is not defeated by this woman, Catherine Mader. And I don't normally just like put pictures up, but I thought if there was anything that explained the difference between the two, it's right there. A picture says 1,000 words. Charles is up there talking, and she looks like she would rather be just about anywhere else, on her yacht, at her mansion, all right, kicking some homeless people out of a shelter. Right.
Is she real rich?
She's and she's got a history with government that's a little weird. Going back to, I think, Kitzhaber. But basically she looks to me like Glenn Close in one of her Mean movies, right there. That's just she's got to look.
Olympia Dukakis.
The articles that are out are great. There's one that just came out, I believe it was in the Gazette Times, about the difference, or one of the it's not the Gazette Times. One of the Corvallis papers that just endorsed Charles Mom stated the difference, but Mader is simply running because she's pissed off about this homeless shelter. She really doesn't have anything else for Corvallis, but she's a businesswoman who doesn't want her storefront tarnished by all the drug users that are going to come out of this. Drug use is a big problem with the homeless shelter, apparently. That's her big issue, right? She's rich. She owns an engineering firm, and she's got history with government, which is probably why she thought she could just jump in the race at the last minute, and maybe her name would carry her through. But Charles has had all the endorsements from I think the papers, and he's doing really well. But I just want everybody to help. I want to make sure it's a landslide, right? So please help Charles, because he's been busting ass for the community without a role, without a title. He's run for office several times he's just one of those guys. You're like, yeah, we need this guy. More of him and less of her. Although more women in general, less of her type of human. Let's go there. All right. There. That's better. All right. Moving on. Yeah, I know DWS was a no-show at the debate. So was the Republican who backed out. So was it just like, Tim, get up there and say, hey, everybody? I didn't quite understand what was going on there. I'm not going to run the video because we've got other stuff to talk about, but there's a link in the description on this, and this is to the next barbecue, Becky. Don't call 911. Call 1-844-WHITE-FEAR. It's funny. At least it was funny last week until a whole bunch of more people died. And now I'm like, this isn't going to work. It's probably got New York Times some great ratings and some great views, but no white people gave a fuck about this. So moving on. This is my friend Paul Hammond. And Paul doesn't watch the show, but I thought we could give him some credit for what he's doing. I've been a friend with this. So what this is this is in Washington. And Jamie Herrera Butler is the Republican who is in that congressional district, and this was the district that we were trying to help Dorothy Gasquet become the Democratic candidate for, except she lost the race because the Democratic Party up there wasn't interested in being very democratic, right? I believe she had to fight for the van voter database and all that stuff. Anyway, excuse me. By the way, Oz, I went with the generic fizzy water because you showed me that LaCroix's got what other stuff in there. So there. Thank you so much for freaking me out about my fizzy water. Anyway, Herrera Butler doesn't meet with constituents. In this last, just recently, when she realized that she actually had a race on, the Democratic challenger is actually, whoever they pick, the establishment pick, is actually, close in the numbers. She doesn't talk to her people. She doesn't give a shit. She's just a corporate Republican doing her corporate Republican job. Paul Hammond, I've known since earlier than high school, like since I was in the 5th grade. I've known Paul Hammond. It's the 5th grade. And he has been a public servant all his life. He's a teacher. He served at AmeriCorps. He's just an awesome human being. I don't even know when he has time to do this because he does so much with teaching and so much for kids in a community. And I'm just going to read this. Constituents regularly complain or their concerns fall on deaf ears. Paul Hammond, an English teacher with the Ridgefield School District, may be one of the most outspoken examples. Hammond says he has called Herrera Butler each time there's a school shooting and begged for action, only to be left disappointed. He's up to 64 calls. Just a little statistic there that kind of, holy fuck. 64 calls. That's when I saw Paul started to get involved. I was like, this is what we need to see. Everybody that's out there that hasn't realized our lives are on the line. I mean, all of humanity's lives are on the line. We need to rise up, and we need to do whatever actions we can. Whatever you think you can do, just do it. Right? I don't know what I should do, Spock. I only know what I can do. That's what Kirk said, the new Kirk. Anyway, that's Paul. I want to thank Paul for that. Even better, we're going to run this clip, right? I got to open the clip of Andrew Gillum. Did we find that clip, Marcus?
Yes, we got the clip, yes.
Okay.
This was one. Yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just glad we got the clip. Thank you.
It was one of the rare occasions where I had time to watch a debate, and this time it was Gillum versus DeSantis, and it was it was very one-sided in my opinion.
I'm gonna have to pull that up here in a second. I just want to show you guys this. I saw this. I was like, what? That's awesome. That's a beautiful thing. What are they talking about here? Somebody's listening. Somebody in the Gillum campaign. My audio keeps peaking here. Sorry about that, everybody. Somebody in the Gillum campaign was like, that's a bad idea. She's not campaigning with him anymore. She's going out there and she's going to hold one of her closed dinners and raise some money in the back for him, supposedly, which will probably just go to the Hillary 2020 fund or something. But they decided, let's not. There was some backlash from progressives who thought Andrew was progressive, and then they see him with her, and no. So
I think in general she is poisoned as a politician, and no one would search contact with her, and she's only thinking she still has some influence, and this is why she's doing all this crap. And
I don't know what you're talking about, Marcus. That's ridiculous. That's what a ridiculous assertion that Hillary is washed up and not just she is a rising star. As Peter Douche's liaison would.
Still withering.
Still withering.
All right.
Anyway, let's have a listen to and I don't know if you guys saw the debate. I have not seen the whole debate. I just saw some sound bites, but this one was the best. Andrew Gillum, I really hope, walks the talk when he gets into office, because he slaughtered DeSantis, deservedly so. And we're just going to listen to that.
Chance to respond now. Well, let me first say, my grandmother used to say a hit dog will holler. And it hollered through this room. Mr. DeSantis has spoken. Hey, first of all, he's got neo-Nazis helping him out in this state. He has spoken at racist conferences. He's accepted a contribution and would not return it from someone who referred to the former president of the United States as a Muslim, Nigger. When asked to return that money, he said no. He's using that money to now fund negative ads. Now, I'm not calling Mr. DeSantis a racist. I'm simply saying the racists believe he's a racist.
Mr. DeSantis, if I would ask the audience to please let Mr. DeSantis now respond.
The conference I attended was keynoted by a Medal of Honor recipient named Clint Romeshay. It was not a racial...
Yeah, whatever.
And it was a highlight of the show, of course, of the debate. But it went constantly like this, you know.
Yeah.
He punched, always in DeSantis' face, and he mopped the floor with DeSantis, to be honest.
I couldn't find the video, but there's an excellent montage where he's talking about being a black man. He says, "As far as I know, I've always been a black man and will always be a black man. Thank you for pointing out that I'm a black man." And then they did this whole movie montage of all these different clips of someone saying, "Well, he's a black man. He's just a black man. You're a beautiful black man." And it was just
and the audience at this moment was cheering for him.
Yes.
You know, they were laughing and cheering for him. To get up.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he does a good debate. He does a good show. I like you said, hope he walks the talk. And as far as Hillary goes, it's almost like they bring her in to deflate the progressive, because they know that
I think you're right.
Progressives won't vote for him if they assume that they're together. So
The show, do you remember the movie The Cooler?
Yes,
That's what she is.
Yes, she's a cooler.
That's totally what she is. That he's on a run. It's too hot. The passion's great. Send Hillary in.
Yeah, exactly. She'll cool him off. That's perfect.
Who was that? William Macy. William
Macy,
Macy.
yeah.
It's a phenomenal movie if you guys haven't seen it.
God, I forgot that movie.
Travis, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yay.
Prepaid residual. Awesome. Love it.
Wow, over 50 people here.
Hi, everybody.
Dang.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for being here.
Cool.
Appreciate this.
Thank you.
All right, what do we got? I get back on track here. Where we at? Made fun of Hillary a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh. Jeff. Oh, gosh. This was almost the cover, but then I thought it was a little too... I love this. Okay, so yes, we're angry because we have a Nazi cult that is rising up in small numbers. Let's sure we clarify this. The Nazi thing is about 6%. Okay, there may be more Trumper followers that are voting for him, but the violent right is about 6% of the nation. Should not be hard to control, right? Should not be hard for us to rise up, unify, and silence them in terms of a political faction, right? Kind of like the Germans did with, what was it, the AfD, right? And even though the AfD grabbed a little more power or whatnot, they don't really do anything. They're just kind of a pain in the ass, right, Marcus? Mostly. Mostly. I don't know. I know Germany's on the, it's like, but mostly. All right. So we need to get that way. But there's been a lot of talk about being uncivil and, what's right, what's wrong. And the media seems to, some words are wrong, some words are right. Apparently shooting people is better at some point than saying harsh words. If you look at some of the way they write. Last week we had the googly-eyed Nathaniel Green, right? Mm-hmm. And the Savannah, Georgia Police Department was very upset about that. And that the googly-eyed thing, somebody was listening because Jeff Fortenberry, who is an incumbent Republican running, I don't even know where he's running, somewhere. Somebody got creative, and I really like this. This is Jeff on Twitter. Political violence, including the vandalism we see right here in Lincoln, is a threat to good citizenry and free expression in our republic. Well, that is free expression right there. So you're a little contradictory. It's not funny. It's never acceptable. Fuck yes, it is, dude.
It is funny.
And it's not. And it's certainly not violent.
No, look at this. This is the comments underneath his tweet are absolutely hilarious. This one. This is not terrorism or violent. Stop equating the two. right? What are we talking about specifically? Please tell me. I loaded the here. Let me show you.
Strong odor.
This is, so there are two. There's been two. Yeah, this is Jeff Fortenberry. We've got googly eyes and strong odor. Right. That's very creative. And then people really liked it. And here's a different sign. Right. They didn't do the strong odor, but they got everything else and some kind of a barcode on his hair. I'm not sure what that is. I tried to zoom in and I think it says Pussy Riot, but I'm not sure. It's hard.
Where do you see that?
See the little stamp on his hair there?
All right. Yeah, I see it. Yeah. Hold on.
So anyway, Jeff is upset.
Yeah.
But don't worry, everybody. Jeff is a piece of shit. He takes money from Northrop Grumman, Lockheed Martin, Tuesday Group PAC, Deloitte Touche, basically shitty bank, First National of Nebraska. He's not interested in anything really but defense and money. So hey, Jeff Fortenberry, you get what you deserve. It's
and with that much money, it's no wonder that he is able to fart berries, right?
Hey, there's some German humor for you. That was awesome, Markus.
That's gonna be a type of cake that's gonna come up on the British baking show next.
The 14th layer.
So some of I'm not calling for vandalism of a bunch of Republican signs, but that's creative. And if he were any kind of a real politician, he'd work with it, right? I mean, you can't tell me the guy wasn't called Fortenberry in his grade school. You mean he doesn't have the skills to deal with this already? I mean, come on. What did you say to the kid who called you Fortenberry in high school? What did you say to him?
Third grade, yeah.
I mean, the only correct answer to his complaint is me. Yeah.
I know I am, but what are you?
Right.
Or I know you are, but what am I? That's it.
Is that a new cereal, Fortenberry?
Captain Crunch with Fortenberries. Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. We could have. It could have been fun. He could have worked with it. He could have tried to show a human side.
You can just tell. You can't be fun with that hair.
Yeah. All right. So that was some silly in the midst of all this shit. All right. What do we have last week on UHM? Are we there?
Yeah.
I think we are. How was everybody in the audience today? Yeah. Hairpiece price tag, is that what that was? Hey, Charles. Good to see you.
Hey, Charles. Did you hear us? We pitched you.
Yes.
And I made fun of Catherine. Make sure that the paper that misquotes you understands that I'm the one making fun of Catherine Maynard, not you.
Yeah.
I'm not running against her. I can make fun of her all I want.
You're an outside observer. Independent.
Hey, Al. Thank you. By the way, real quick, everybody who watches, who knows, I see that you donate through the Action Network, and I see that you donate here on Super Chat. I know that. I've been really lazy about pushing out a message to thank the Action Network, but I see these, so thank you so much. You may not respond in chat, but I see it. Thank you. Really, every single dime means something, and it goes to use, right? So thank you. As a matter of fact, we just got the Solo 100% functional. I finally got Verizon to send me a new modem, so we are good to go for the 6th. If there's anybody with the DPO out there, I just want to say we are going to have a solid upstream from the Hilton. We may be the only ones with it, so watch our event. Because we're gonna have fun. Larry showed me a message that came from the DPO about guests. They're gonna have a lot of big names. Jeff Merkley is gonna be there. The governor, Kate Brown's gonna be there. So we're gonna capture all their speeches, win or loss. Kurt Schrader is gonna be there. I don't think anybody ran against Kurt this time. Next time, we'll get Kurt next time. Anyway, just want to say thank you to all that. I see that. I see that you're donating. Your super chat doesn't work, Al. I'm sorry. I don't know how to fix it. Getting old. Power to the people. That was last week on Progressive Oregon. And Larry was talking about the 13th, the Standing Rule 13. And what we need to do, this is super critical. And I want to say thank you to Carol Scherer. I think that's your last name. Pushed out a nice article about this. Larry and Betsy talked about what's going on in the DPO assembly and how the admin of the DPO has basically taken that power. It's not their power to have to decide who gets access to the van voter database. That's actually controlled by the assembly, but it's never been addressed because the DPO admin doesn't want to address it. And Larry has been a thorn in their side, and it's going to be addressed at this next quarter meeting, the SEC quarterly meeting. And if you want to give the power of the who gets access to all of the resources of the Democratic Party, the admin has no right to decide that. None whatsoever. No admin in any Democratic Party has the right to decide that. That power belongs to the assembly. And if we want to have a real democracy in the state of Oregon, then when somebody wants to challenge another Democrat, they get equal access to all resources. That's the way it should be. And with Standing Rule 13, with your votes at the SEC quarterly meeting, we take that power back from the admin. So we need to do that. This is a super critical aspect of our 2020 venture, because this means in 2020 we will have the same tools. Right? And we need that to get rid of people like Kurt Schrader, to get rid of people like Peter Courtney, who do nothing for us whatsoever. I will work with the admin and the establishment of the Dem Party, and as much as we are one party. But where you oppose the majority of the Democratic Party, you are in the wrong, and I will fight you. And you know who I'm talking to. Some of you watch this show. So I just want to make a clear message. We're coming. We're coming to take power back from you and give it to the assembly who should have had it in the first place. Okay. Anyway, join us for that. That was last week. Conventions we talked about last week on Robert's Rules. I don't know why I thought there was another one. Barbara Bartleson showed me that I had conventions up there twice, and I'm not sure why I did that. Some weird thing. We talked with Jill Stein.
Yes.
Everybody.
Yeah.
That was freaking cool. I mean, it's been, what? I don't know. We how long has it been? We're talking about possibly having her on months, year?
At least a year. Couple of times.
Yeah.
And the last time was when the Green Party was going to have their national meeting, and we were trying to get her before that. And that was a few months ago. So we just kept putting it out there. And Sadie Fulton, bless her heart, she's one who was working with Josh Jones, who was running for governor in the Green Party.
Yeah.
She's that has kind of shifted her efforts to supporting Jill, and she put us together. And so, Sadie, if you're watching this now or later, thank you again, because she made it happen. And Jill showed up, and it was very real. And we got to meet Jill's dog, probably a lot more than she expected.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Do we have I'm sorry, do we have a clip or anything like that?
I didn't look. Did you throw a clip in here, Marcus?
No, I just came surprisingly in, as you know. And,
No,
but it was no ordinary interview, in my opinion. It was halfway a home story, you know.
Kind of
The
was.
impression of the dog in the back, and it was fantastic.
Well, it gave us a good opportunity to she talked a lot about appreciating independent media and mentioned several times her appreciation for what we do. You know, I couldn't have been more thrilled when she came in and she said, "Oh, I recognize you." It's like, wow.
Yeah.
I recognize
Really?
me.
She said, I didn't even hear that. Oh,
Cool.
Yeah. So it's like, because she'd seen the show, you know.
Oh, well, that's cool.
And
Yeah.
she just appreciates what we do, and the whole point was, we will, you know, come into your office and your dog will be right there, and we have a rule: if the dog comes in, we get to introduce the dog. And
Yeah.
she didn't quite expect the dog to be drinking out of a coffee cup behind her head. It made it so real, and and that really is what we do. None of this is scripted. It's all as we think of it, and it shows, and you can trust it.
Yeah. It was fun. I wish we could talk to her more, and I think she was tired, but really got into it towards the end, and she wanted to talk more, and I was like, let's give Yola wants to go to bed, so let's, you know.
Yeah.
It's all right, because she had to get up the next day. She's on her way to California. She's in California right now.
All weekend, helping, the way Bernie's helping the campaign, she's appearing and speaking and supporting people in the party, and that's what she's doing right now. She's not, she was asked a couple times during the interview what her plans are. Does she's going to run for Congress, and I don't think she would want to run for Congress. And she was saying, talking about getting in at the state level is really where she's encouraging Greens to start, because that's where it begins.
And that was actually the secret. If I was going to find a clip, which I couldn't find, Laura, it was the one where she talked about the Greens building a base.
Right. Right.
Because that's happening. Everybody should go to the Green Party website, Green Party US, and take a look at their bench. All right.
Yeah.
Take a look at what they've got going on. It's it is the one complaint that I had. Yeah, they still have people running for really lofty positions that they don't have a chance in hell. And I'm not saying those people aren't good people. I'm just saying they're taking those moonshot runs.
Right.
And we had the same, Laura, we had the same in the Bernie group. We ran some moonshot crazy people trying to take on roles. Right. But
well, this is like we always said, this is the practice election to do that. And we've learned a lot. Yeah,
we learned a lot. And I think that was what Jill said. She goes, shh, don't tell anybody. I don't think we talked about this on air. We talked about this in the green room. Our green room. Kind of oddly termed. Anyway, she said, don't tell anybody. We're actually working on lower level government.
Yeah.
Right? Because they need to. That's where the power is. Right.
Yeah.
And when you look at their list of people, it's not governor. It's, or U.S. House. It's state house, state senate, city council, school board, commissioner. And these are all the roles, and I'm seeing that in Benton and Lynn County too, around Oregon. I'm seeing that, Stephanie Newton's running for county commissioner, which is good because she was a Benton County burner and she's going there. This is where the real power starts.
Right.
We can't stop them from purging voter rolls without taking power at the local level. We can't stop them from what they're doing in Texas or what they're doing in Georgia without being the elections person, right? The Maricopa County recorder, right? Adrian Fontes took that job. It was one small step in improving voter registration and the accuracy of the vote in Maricopa County.
Oh, he'd be an interesting person to talk to, wouldn't he?
Yeah, should reach out to him.
Wow.
By the way,
after the election,
in an effort to build ratings and get more views so that we can have more effect, basically, I'm open to interviewing people. So I'm sending out messages to anybody that's interested in being, interesting people that want to get airtime on our massive network. So
I don't have the time I once had to be really chasing down people, so we are kind of focusing on people that show up and come to us.
Right.
And we did have Josh Jones actually sent us a message saying, "Hey, watched Bill Stein and suggested he's in touch with the other Greens who are running." And I said, "Great,
cool,
yeah,
hook us up and we'll see what we can do. We've got it, but we need a little bit of time to prepare. So that's gotta happen.
We do.
Even going forward. I think one of the things that struck me, what Jill mentioned several times, is the media perception that the Greens only come out, every 4 years to run for president and spoil everything.
Right.
And when she made the point about that, most of the Green votes don't come from Republicans or Democrats. They come from from the undecided voters or the non-voters who say, well, okay, I'll vote for that. But although I don't know that's exactly true, because I left the Democrats to vote Green after I exited after the convention in 2016 and haven't gone back. I'm a registered Green still.
There you go.
So there is some, I would say that the progressive Democrat side of the thing probably accounts for some of that statistic as well. People voting Green, at least in states where we can.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll be honest. I'm looking at what Jeannie at DSG, you're saying. How about an interview with Howie Hawkins, Green Party candidate for New York governor? I'm gonna be honest. Not a chance in fucking hell. The New York governor's not that I wouldn't want to interview him at some point, but the New York governor's race is one of those. I mean, there's just look at what's going on there, right? Yeah. That's one of those unattainable moonshots, and maybe it's to get a 5% vote or whatever going on, but that's one of those things I question the viability and why, right? Maybe it was worth it for a moonshot. Maybe not. Right? How many smaller roles in New York government could we have taken if we hadn't pushed Howie Klein for governor of a place that there's no effing way you're going to get a Green winning there? There's just that's where I look at practicalities and strategy, you know. And I guess what I should have said about interviews is I want to find strategic ones that look like they have a freaking chance. That's what I'm looking for, right? We need to pick and choose our battles now, and be careful about where we spend our resources. So I don't know. That's just my thought. Cuomo is completely owned by corporate donors. Listen. I'm not denying that the choices suck, all right, or that there isn't one that we want. What I'm saying is that the Green Party candidate is not going to come close. We know this, all right? So if I have a choice between spending an hour interviewing a candidate that isn't going to come close or interviewing one that has a shot, I'm going to take the one that has a shot.
Yeah.
And I'm not looking at like hair-thin statistics. I'm just looking at, come on. Let's look at the obvious. Right? So, and that's just where I'm at. That's just where I'm at with that. That's just personal for me. I mean, if we had a bigger network and we had a bunch of people, I'd interview them all, right? That's why I yelled at TYT, and they did a fairly decent job of trying to, you know, hit up their progressive candidates. But, and maybe I'll just say this. It was this. I wanted to say this to Jill in the green room, but I didn't. You know, it's the first time we really talked to her, and I didn't know what to say. So I want to say this to the Green Party, okay? This is my message to the Green Party, and I know there's people in here that are connected to it. So I am the Green Party. I'm just working behind the lines in the Dem Party because the Dem Party has a hell of a lot more power and resources, all right? And I want to affect change there. I would love to provide the Green Party this platform. Come do a show with us. Bring us your people. But I can't do it by myself, with Laura, with Marcus, and the small crew that we have. This has been my message to these parties, to everybody in the movement. Work with us. You want to support your candidates? Bring me some volunteers. Coordinate with me. Help me figure out how to do a weekly Green Party show. But don't say, hey, here's a whole fuck ton of people to interview. Go to it.
Yeah. Because, hey, I want you to interview this person. Say, great. And make it happen. Don't come to us and tell us to do something without providing us some support to do it.
Right. And that message is not to you in the audience. You guys can suggest all you want. Okay, you want to suggest this person, that person. I think that's great. I'm just talking to the organization themselves, the people in power at the top. If you want your candidates to get airtime, you have to support the independent networks to give them airtime. And you have to, that means more than a tweet.
Yes.
And some of these organizations that have massive power to help their candidates don't even tweet. They don't even use the power of their organization. You know who I'm talking to, because I've had emails and phone conversations with you about this, that you've got massive power in your social networks, but you don't have anybody willing to take the time to find out when your candidates are being interviewed by independent media and share that media out to grow its reach. That's a fundamental failure of the progressive movement.
Yes.
You want to survive, you need to support the networks that support you. And that means more than a tweet. That means more than an email. That means working together, sharing resources. Let's do it, Green Party. Let's make the Green Party Climate Wake the Fuck Up show. Let's shine a giant spotlight on the Green Party. Let's elevate every Green Party member. But you got to work with me. With us. Yeah. You got to work with us. We're a very, very small group of very passionate people who have been trying to do this. It's just frustrating, and you guys know this. You guys know this. The audience, the family that we have, you all have been here for a long time, knowing that I'm a broken record when I talk about this shit.
And I think it is even more important if you consider that the Green candidates mostly are excluded from the main debates, you know, with the main candidate. No, and I think if you consider this, there is no other way to make your candidates prominent with the independent media like us.
Right. We have no other way. That's why you know, we need to support the independent media first, and then we need to grow the independent media to take over the mainstream media. When I say things like We need to fund a co-op of our own local radio station and our own local TV station. I'm not high. I mean, well, I am, but that's not the point. I'm always high.
Oh
but the thing is, a radio station, local radio station, is $150,000. Okay, we do not have access to traditional network. We do not control the message on traditional network, and we lose the narrative on traditional network. And until we start buying up pieces of traditional network, we don't have a chance, right? And that's really where it sits right now. And I look at that. I look 5 years from now and I go, 5 years from now, we should have local TV stations that are progressive TV stations. And I don't see anybody working towards that. And we're going to lose the internet. And I just keep saying that because, you know, we got to find the way to fund this. I'm very, very frightened about that, personally, here in America. Anyway, back to more cheery stuff. I do have some cheery stuff. There's a lot of next week on UHM, but I have no idea where I put all the cards. Like, I really did. I had all the cards, and now they're gone. It's my bad.
Okay.
That's
I think they're starting at slide 30.
No, those aren't. That's so. We've got some awesome stuff coming up next week on UHM. I just didn't load any of the cards. Tomorrow is Sunday, and we have Progressive Oregon, and we're going over the ballot measures. 2018 ballot measures. So join us for that.
Good.
Not just the measures, but the whole ballot, like everything on there, who to vote for. I've got so much material, more mailers from female candidates than male candidates, which I thought was really cool. A lot of them are Republican, though, but whatever. So join us tomorrow for that at 10. And then we have Robert's Rules, which I believe is on mass meetings and organizing. But
yes,
okay.
Those are the event. And the events are all, if you go to the channel, they're all live waiting for you.
They're all live waiting on. That's right. They're all live waiting on the channel. And then we have coming up on November 6th, we will be doing a live election night coverage, and we will have at least two locations. We'll have the location at the Hilton, which is where the DPO is going to have their main event. Larry will be there with Ashley, and we'll have speeches from a bunch of people. And we'll also have Lowell and Sean Nickus with a remote team at another election night party, which is going to be in Salem. And there'll be some other candidates there. So we'll bounce back between the two. Marcus is going to join us. Laura's going to be with us. We're going to play some tunes and cheer on the progressive victories. Right.
Yeah.
So, and yes, yeah. we will. And we'll have. I forgot to mention, we will have guest Adam Klugman.
Oh, okay.
I invited Adam to join us, and Adam will be joining us. We're
nice.
It's going to be. I didn't even talk to you about that. You guys, you know, the thing we did with Adam and Valdez, right? You guys all remember that? Right?
Yep.
So Adam and I had a conversation afterwards about putting together a show together. He's got some stuff to get settled with his business dealings, so we're looking at a couple months down the road, maybe. But then we might do a redo of Mad as Hell in America through UHM Productions. So we'll see.
Cool.
We'll see. That'll be fun.
You know, there's no place we'd rather be on election night than here with you all. So
thank you, Kendra and everybody. Appreciate that. Thank you. So yeah, we got that, and then November 11th. So the 6th is election night, and we'll be covering national races. That's what Adam will be looking at, the national races, kind of the key things going on, and then and we'll be, and Laura probably looking at West Coast spread, and I'll be looking at, I'll be clicking buttons here. Let's really try clicking buttons. Lee Peterson. I have no idea who that is. Jesse Lee Peterson is. I'd love to have 600,000 subscribers. We have 14,000 subscribers, and I don't know where most of them are. We got a nice little.
And we
family
are always at 14,000 something. So we're
yes.
14,094. We're a little up this week. We don't go up, you guys. We have new subscribers every single day, and they're just dropping off the back end as soon as it's.
That's whatever. It's shuffling the demo, maybe. I was back to the 11th is Oregon Progressive Democrat Nominating Convention. Okay, what is this? the DPO, the admin, all the roles within the DPO, for the chair, first vice chair, second vice chair, all of those roles are up for election in March, I believe, of 2019. And we're calling for a convention of progressive Democrats, or any Democrats. If you want to run for office in the DPO, we're going to have this convention to talk about what it means, talk about the roles, choose some people to run. And because the people that are in these roles now, they're not special. Okay. They did the same thing we're doing. They just ran for the role. And there's nothing that makes them better or worse for that role than anybody else we could put in it. It's all up to what you're willing to do once you take the job. So if we want to make more progressive change in the DPO, then we need more progressive people taking on elected roles within the DPO. It's that simple. So join us on the 11th. That's between 2 and 5 p.m. That'll be at the Sunnyside Community House in Portland. Larry's going to be there, and hopefully we'll be able to raise enough money to get Ashley up there, or we'll be doing something different. So that's where we're at, and that's why I'm hitting up for the dollars. So.
To help us if you can, y'all. If you're watching this later, go to uphillmedia.org. There's a donate button.
Please do.
A couple bucks.
Please do.
Monthly. You can do it monthly. That's really nice.
Yeah.
We just know there's that little. We kind of have a sense of that we've got a little bit to budget with if we know it's. And so just $2, $5 a month. What do you pay for Hulu or Netflix or something like that? And think of that as your donation to your political shows.
Exactly.
And I know I'm probably speaking to the choir because everybody here who already does that. So
you guys are all on it.
If we do reach a new ear or something today, if you got an extra couple bucks, that'd be great.
Yes. If you get that raise that everybody's getting from those tax breaks.
Yeah. Oh, and don't forget swag. It's still I'm not wearing that today. That we have our store that's alive and running, and shop at uphillmedia.org, and that has got our t-shirts and doggy bandanas and sippy cups and mugs.
Yes, all sorts of good stuff on there with the logo.
Yeah.
Don't forget to go there. Thank you for talking there. I had another fly on my face. That's another reason. If we could, we're bringing about $500 a month right now to sustain operations, and we actually need to add 2 zeros to that to get out of here and do big things. 1 zero onto that $5,000 a month would actually put us in a building, hire people. It would get me out of the fly garage.
And add another 0, we could buy that radio station.
There you go. Come on, guys. Just seriously.
What do we call it? K-Prog, KPRG, or something like that?
K-Prog radio. There you go. That's what it was. You just got your 2% raise, Jeff? All right.
Yay.
So send us 0.2% of that, and that'll be great. That'd be great. All right, we're getting out of here. It's 11:03. I just got some funnies. And then we'll talk about the song, which I thought was rather poignant. I'll use that word. Jesus Antifa Christ smashing a primitive ATM machine circa 30 CE.
I like that.
The hypocrisy of Christianity drives me fucking nuts. For those of you who don't know, I am a reformed ex-Catholic cultist. And there's nothing I despise more than the Catholic religion. It's just a piece of shit. The people within it are just misguided and indoctrinated. I worked years to get out of the indoctrination. There's so many things about this picture. I mean, even though it's accurate, right? I mean, Jesus Christ was a libtard, right? Jesus Christ was nothing like his followers. We know this. Although this one, Jesus Christ, is also Tom Cruise.
Exactly, yes.
That is fucking Tom Cruise playing Jesus. Show me the money and get it out of my temple. Right? That's basically what's going on there. I can't believe that's a white-ass Jesus. Anyway, this is maybe going to be the cover next week for fun, but I love the fact that there's a God on Twitter. There's probably more than one, but that people follow God on Twitter and respond to the shit that God says on Twitter. Like, And quite frankly, you might as well worship the Twitter god because it's just as fucking real as the other ones. Maybe
and
more
possibly
so.
more likely to hear what you say.
Yes, more likely to respond. Maybe that's why.
God retweeted me. He heard me.
And just
Validation right there.
just understand, this is why I will never run for office. It's because I can't pander to the religious.
Nope.
I can't. I just can't. If you're in a cult, if you're in a religious cult, geez, I can't help you. Anyway,
Well,
I fill my bong with I would love to fill this bong with Republican tears.
and why shouldn't God have a Twitter account? I think. Well, he's the Almighty. Why should he have a Twitter account?
Well, God hasn't been censored yet. I'm waiting for that. And there's this whole thing with Ted Cruz. And this is like the most evil mashup I've ever seen. This is Ted Cruz, Bob Ross, a Zodiac killer. three human beings you'd never thought would somehow manage to be connected.
And this hairdo, you know, this.
That's Bob Ross.
I know Bob Ross, but look at him. He could show up in a remake of the 70s shows, right?
Of course he could. Everybody knows Bob. Everybody remembers Bob Ross. Get to paint some happy trees. Happy little trees over here.
Yes.
I'm surprised we couldn't see smoke. Just a haze. Bob's studio.
Yes. You got to do it like this.
Shadow ban God, for fuck's sake. Oh, that's a person. There's that name again. You mentioned him, Marcus.
What?
Ojeda, who I'm probably not pronouncing his name right.
Yes, Richard Ojeda.
Yeah.
Richard Ojeda, yes. He's heavily promoted by TYT, and rightfully so, as I think.
Right.
I don't agree in every point with him, but this guy is definitely not corrupt, you know, and he will never be corrupt. And he has he comes with some quotes when he says that he doesn't want that there are lobbyists from the pharma industry shadowing his doorsteps, you know. He would send them away, and he doesn't want them, and he's a good candidate for West Virginia, in my opinion.
Nice, good. I'm glad. This is so my point about that is I would talk to him, but it's get him on the phone, you know, get him on the phone. Jesus, I'm showing my old. And this is another one I thought was going to be a cover. I forgot to show this before. I thought this was a brilliant mashup.
McMaga party? Or
well,
what is it?
So what they did was take the picture of Trump. That's Trump's posture. Remember when he went to visit, where did he go to visit? There was the Arizona Memorial or somewhere, and he was just like, yeah, we're here at this memorial. He's just an idiot. Well, they dropped that onto the Chuck E. Cheese's because, you know.
Chuck E. Cheese. All right, yeah.
See Trump hanging out in the little ball thing with a dirty diaper.
Yes.
I love that.
And you can see that this is authentic, you know, the sizes in this case are correct.
Yes.
Because Melania is looking down at him. This is absolutely correct.
Absolutely. What restaurant has a rat for a mascot? It's Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
Chuck E. Cheese is
Chuck E.
where you
Cheese
take,
is a rat.
if you like box wine on tap and a place to dump your kids, Chuck E. Cheese is where you go.
And where do you think the holes are coming from in the cheese?
That's one of the circles of hell for me, is a Chuck E. Cheese. Imagine arcades and children screaming and junk food and...
Yeah.
Ew.
It's
I think I've been to one once.
Yeah, me too. Once.
More than...
Because somebody's kid was like, we're having a birthday at Chuck E. Cheese. And all the parents went, oh, God, help us all. And we went there anyway. So, yeah. And look, if you took your kid to a Chuck E. Cheese, we're not saying it's bad. We're just making fun of the Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
Because Trump belongs to the Chuck E. Cheese. All right. Moving on. We're at music story time, everybody. Isn't that good? Yay.
Yeah.
I'm going to mispronounce this artist's name because I don't know how to pronounce it. This is from last year, actually, 2017. But I thought this was really, poignant again. I'm just going to overuse that fucking word today. Here, Tayana Taina
Taina
Asili.
Taina Asili. I'm going to say
Yes.
Taina Asili.
Great.
Yes, agreed.
Thank you,
Yes.
everybody. All right. So she's got a bilingual anti-Trump anthem, and I really like it, and so we're gonna watch that. It doesn't show up as being censored in YouTube, but you never know, because it is a full video material. It could get censored, so just keep that in mind. But we're gonna run it, see what happens anyway. And I thought it was made sense. I want to read what she said here because I thought I just liked it. This is how do you see music playing a role in the resistance to Trump? It says, within my culture and my people, Puerto Ricans, we have always used music as a tool of resistance in our folkloric art. I see this music as a part of that legacy. In general, we've seen throughout the world representations of that, whether we're looking at resistance songs in South Africa or folk songs, hip-hop, jazz. All of these genres really come out of musical movements of resistance. What we need more now than ever is to continue that legacy. What I resonate with now more than ever is artists that are speaking truth to power and using their voices to create a platform for social change to be more visible. I'm all in on this. I think music is a very powerful tool to motivate and organize. And it's one of the reasons why I like working with this media is because we can kind of blend the visuals with the music. She goes on to say, I teach social justice songwriting workshops, and a lot of times people ask me, do you have to be an artist or a songwriter to be in these workshops? I always say no, because I think that we need to experiment as much as possible with opening up our creative selves so that we can think creatively about solutions for this world. We absolutely have to hold a common space for creativity. Where we are at in this world and what we are facing, we are going to need creative solutionaries to make it through this moment. And I thought that was, very well spoken.
Solutionaries. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're going to look for a new corporate trend term, there's one. Solutionary.
Nice.
But that's what I thought. I agree. I would agree with what she has to say there. And so we're going to queue up this video and listen to it. It does have the subtitles. So those of you like me who can't speak a shitload of any other language, not even Spanish, see what she's saying. All right. Anything else? Closing thoughts? Anybody?
Nope.
No? All right.
Don't think so.
Tomorrow we have in Germany another state elections, and if it goes bad for the CDU, for the Conservatives and the Social Democrats, then the days of Merkel are counted.
Oh.
We will see next week.
I guess we will. I noticed that Germany shut off their arms sales to, was it Saudi Arabia? No.
They froze them. We all know what has happened, After there is a little bit of grass growing over the complete affair, they're taking a pause, and then it will be done later. We know.
Resume sales. Yeah, I get it.
Yes, of course.
Exactly. Laura Livengood, what are you going to do the rest of the week?
The rest of the weekend?
Well, whatever. What are you doing?
Well, we got a board meeting at 1:00.
Oh, that's right. Fun for us. I forgot about that.
Woohoo! Good
Yay.
times.
All right.
I don't know. I think probably head down to Monterey. I've been spending weekends there.
Yeah.
I'll be spend a lot of time. My new workplace where I get to go walk by the ocean every week has been a treat.
Enjoy it while it's there.
I know.
And not at your doorstep.
I was going to say, tsunami. If there's a big tsunami, that my office building would be under 20 feet of water in no time. So.
Ooh.
Doing all I can, and I'm right next to a monarch butterfly winter resting place where all the butterflies are coming in now.
That's beautiful. Wonderful.
Okay,
I get
nice.
a couple times a week I go visit the butterflies.
All right.
So I do what I can to find a little peace in this crazy.
Yeah.
I'm in PR. I sit in front of the newsfeed and Twitter all the damn day, and I get completely and mainstream news, and one of my colleagues wrote a pitch the other day talking about Russians are doing evil things. I'm like, don't make me call a reporter with a pitch that says something about Russians are doing evil things.
Yeah.
So it's I do what I can, but this place is in my heart too. So
there you go. All right. Well, thank you for what you do. Everybody's got to get out of their box. You too in the audience, get out of your box. Yeah. Marcus, best wishes.
I'm out of my box.
I know you're out of your box.
Thank you very
much. All right, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Here we go. Gianna Asili, or however you pronounce it. No es mi presidente. He's not my president. Not mine either.
discontent.